Hello, I'm Alan Perrin. I'm known to some of you watching this film. I was one of the handful of gentlemen who started the school. 1981, my oldest son was born. We were members of Hendon at Das at the time. And by about 1983, we were determined to sort out a primary school. And there were far fewer than there are today. We gathered together about 18 families who were in a similar position and made first an approach to Hasmonean Prep to see whether they would like a new room intake, and also made an approach to Menorah Primary to see whether they were interested in increasing their size. Luke Skirder and others came to our rescue and offered us the opportunity of a private annex housed in the basement of their kindergarten, and they would also loan us, for a consideration, a pair of teachers. And we started as the Menorah Annex in 1986. Rebens and Cooper moving to our school was indisputably quite a coup. And we're grateful to the then governors of Menorah Primary for suggesting such a thing.
I'll tell you what motivated me. People say, how can you teach reception year after year after year? But the children are different, and the challenges are different, and times have changed. And we've now got a lot more children with special needs, and every year was a challenge. And I was with them for 21 years. Very nice environment to work in. And I think the school has done well. You can see by the number of people who want to get their children into the school and can't. So that's proof, isn't it, that the school is doing well. And that's all I wish for the school, obviously.
I'm Anne Albert. I was the first head of the school. I started in 1990 when the children were up to year 3. There were 70 children and 7 teachers, all piled in to a very small building, a house, one house, and we were all on top of each other. It was lively, lovely, enthusiastic. Parents came in. There was a lovely ruach, a lovely spirit.
We were there until we outgrew it. I think about 5 years later, we outgrew the building. And then we moved to Caddington Road.
And the children were absolutely thrilled to go to a purpose-built school, which seemed to them like a dream.
And that school was great. We expanded a bit into the playground. We built there were some porta cabins there, fairly old jerry-built things from, I think, before the war. But it was clear by that stage we were outgrowing it. Stephen Goldberg and I were then looked around Barnet for a couple of years looking for a suitable building which would accommodate the increased size school and also give us the opportunity to become state aided. We came across what was Orange Hill School a couple of years into our search, but it was too large for us. But at the same time, the Menorah Grammar School, who'd occupied a building on Beverley Gardens on a long lease, had had their lease terminated, and they too were looking to move. So between the two of us, we acquired the building, and we got contractors in, and we had to convert the Orange Hill site to something which the state would accept as appropriate for state aid. And we were the last school in the then Conservative government, before it was prorogued, that's before the government was hauled up and elections were announced, to get state aid.
We became grant maintained, so we thought to ourselves, let's put the children in to try it out as an experiment for the SATs and the league tables. We never dreamt that we were going to become first in Barnet and 5th in London. We made, I think it was the front page of the Times and the Sunday Times, all the papers. It was wonderful, lovely. Very, very happy period of my life.
Every child is part of the school. Every child is valued. Every child is made to feel very special at our school. So we are with 257 children, and every single child is so special to us.
Once our children moved through the school and started going to Hasmonean, I think they were by far and away the best kids in the class, and a lot of them have gone on to be head boys and head girls. So that's because they had good beginnings and good roots.
We've educated, going on for this way, 2 generations of children. We've now got children of the children who were in the first class in the school, and that's quite an achievement. We've come, we've built, we've got a first class name, so much so that the next generation of children are also parents are also happy to send their kids to our school.
I think it's a real sign of success when people want to send their own children, people who've been in the school and want to send their own children to the school. I think that says an awful lot about the school.
It's lovely when you have siblings all going to the same school, and you can walk around the playground and everybody knows each other and everyone's friendly with each other, and I hopefully welcoming to all the other new parents as well. And when you have the next generation there, you sort of feel that it's really part of our family.
Sending my children to Menorah Foundation was not a difficult decision. There was a lot of continuity in the school that we felt hadn't changed in a big way since I went to school, and it was a good place to bring up the children. My parents have sent 7 children to Menorah Foundation. To send 2 to Menorah Foundation myself doesn't make it a very difficult decision. There have been 9 Cormans who have gone through the school now, and please God many more. We have one who will join the nursery in 2 years' time.
It's nice, but Baruch Hashem, it's a success story.
Having been in primary school for many, many, many years now, I can honestly say that it's a wonderful feeling, never ever having to fight with a child to say I don't want to go to school today. And this is 25 years worth of packing kids into the car and sending them off happily. There's never been a time that a Goldberg of our family, Goldberg, hasn't been in the school, and now we're blessed with the next generation, with our little granddaughter in the kindergarten who goes to Menorah Foundation, where she sees her Uncle Sam.
My daughter Leah was a pupil in the second year that the Menorah Foundation School started, and 14 years later my youngest daughter left the school with quite a few people in between. And now I have my granddaughter in reception, Sophia Golka.
To have a child in Menorah Foundation School really feels like a whole complete circle. It's a pleasure to be able to know what she's going through. Please God, next year Menorah Foundation will have 2 little more Golkas, a Michaela Golka and a Zachary Jack Golka. And when you're a mummy, where do you want your children to go?
I want my children to go to Menorah Foundation.
Sending my own kids here now, after 25 years, is great. Walking through the gates, very, very different place. When I went to school here, it was a house. It was a double house on the Finchley Road, and now it's a stunning school with all the facilities you could possibly want. I'm sending my kids to the same school, but there's love still there. It was a house and had a very, very much a family feel, but you still get that even in this great facility, this big school, and it's still kept up its charm.
I think it's an honour that I'm able to send my own child to the school. It's one of the most important reasons that I wanted her to go there, because I wanted her to experience what I experienced, both education and both with friends, that she should have these friends for life. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think she will too.
And so the school grew, and here we are today, 25 years on. Well, Mrs. Cooper's daughter's there, so that goes to show. She retired from our school, much beloved.
It was a privilege to be able to teach in the Menorah, and I'm grateful that God gave me the health to be able to work as long as I did. I was 81 when I left, so I think I did enough for the movement, for the Menorah movement as such. I'm glad that Ruth is making a go of it. She's got the experience, and the school is lovely. I wouldn't like my great-grandchildren to be anywhere else.
It's very special. Yeah, it's part of me. All my kids went there. Very proud of it.
The school has always felt to Alan and myself as though it's been a huge part of our life. The setting up, the running of it, Alan now being a trustee for many years. It's been a huge part of our life, and it's a part of us like our family. It almost feels like a child to us because we've seen it from the very beginning and seen it through to what it is today. Through thick and thin.
My vision for the school for over the next 10 years is to build on our successes that we have, to build on our academic achievements, to build on our caring nature of the school, so every child in this school is a happy child that wants to come to school, that skips through the gates and loves to learn. We have motivated them not just in Hull but in Kurdish. They have a love of Yiddishkeit and they want to be in school and they want to learn and they want to do well and they want to achieve.
I think the challenge over the immediate challenge going forward is that with any building, with any institution, the fabric of the institution needs to be maintained and needs to be improved. Especially nowadays, I remember when we started in the school, when we started at Orange Hill, the classrooms there were massive. There was no problem getting 30 kids into a classroom. Over the years, by the time we started doing white screens and black screens and teachers and learning assistants and special needs kids and sinks and there's no room in this. Each of the classrooms have to be refurbished back to a standard that's required for the 21st century. And whereas, and that unfortunately costs money, and that money needs to be poured into the structure of the school to be able to cope with maintaining the standards and maintaining the fabric, and to equip the school to go forward to face the challenges of the next 25 years.